What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first tutorial on C++. We're starting this tutorial all the way from the beginner and all the way to the advanced level of C++. So without further delay, we start C++. Alright, what's C++? Alright, so C++ created by this guy, Bjarne Sorstrup, at the Bell Labs, AT&T USA, and why it was created to help implement simulation projects in object-oriented efficient way. And C++ was initially called C with classes, and it was created in 1980. So I'm gonna go further step by step. Okay, as you guys know that this guy Bjarne Sorstrup created C++ on the top of C. So it was created at the Bell Labs. It was created in 1989. Alright, so I'm gonna put it down so you guys don't miss anything. Created in 1980. Okay, so it was created in 1980. I'm gonna make it bigger. Alright, okay. So at Bell Labs in the USA. Okay, so initially it was built on top of C language. So it has all the features of C. So just remember, you guys, that because it's built on top of C, it's got all the features of procedural programming language. So I'm gonna in the future tutorials, I'm gonna explain in depth what's a procedural programming language and what's a object oriented language. So our OOP. Okay, so built on top of C. In other words, it's C++ was derived from C. So C++ was derived. Okay, from C. All right, and we explained that C was called procedural programming language. Okay, so if you're looking at C, what's this plus plus then? If you guys notice the plus plus here, what is this plus plus? So this plus plus means in increment. In computer programming we call it increment operator. It means it's one step up above C. So one step up of C. So it means because it's got a classes, which C doesn't have classes. So it's because it was called C with classes initially. So that's why they call it C++. It means it's one step above C. So it can do a lot of other things that C can't do. So I say it has a classes, but in C there is no classes. It has a string. Inside C there is no string. So I'm going to explain what is string in the future tutorials. All right, so and the other thing is that in 1989 there was a committee called American National Standard Institute. It's called ANSA, American National Standard Institute, ANSI. So it was created, American National Standard Institute. It was created, it was founded, and the main job of this organization was to standardize this C++, so make it common for everyone to follow. standardize the C++. So in 1989, so in 1989, the reason I'm saying these things is because I don't want to leave anything behind, so I want to go step by step. Then I want to cover everything's about C. So and also C++ is a compiled language. Okay, so for a program to run, the source text, whatever we're writing, it's processed by compiler. So compiler, you guys are going to see this compiler a lot, because the compiler is the main component inside this IDE, process the source code. Okay, so what is the source code anyway? So source code is what we type in IDE. And what is IDE? IDE is integrated development environment. Integrated development environment. Okay, all right, so now we go towards the IDE. Okay, so the first IDE I'm gonna introduce you guys is code blocks. This is the IDE, integrated development environment. Why we need the IDE? So say guys, for a doctor or our chef to do their thing, their job, they need an environment. Say doctor needs a clinic or hospital, they need a lot of tools, or chef, they need a kitchen, they need a cook, they need to go and cook their food and things like that. So they need an environment, they need a structure to do their jobs efficiently and quickly as possible, or whatever context you want to put it. For a programmer to run their program, to source code, to write their source code, they need an IDE. So it means they need a environment to write their programs. So alright guys, our code blocks is downloaded and it's ready. The reason is that because I've got a Linux, that's my main operating systems, and you guys might have a different operating system than mine. We go step by step how to install this on your system on the Windows. So here, as you guys can see, that that's how we install this C++ in Linux. We just install in one line of code. That's how we do that. Is sudo apt install code blocks. That's it, and it fires up and it downloads and everything's done. But in Windows environment, that's different. You guys go to the website, you guys press download and you guys install. But make sure when the first time you run that one, you guys see this GNU GCC compiler, and this code block should detect this one. So, and you guys go there and create your first project, which I'm going to show you guys, and we go step by step to this one. And when you guys can see, is your compiler is GNU GCC compiler, and that's how we see on the screen. That's our command line. And if you go inside the tools, inside the compiler, and inside tool chain executable, your screen should look exactly like this: Ming32gcc.exe, Ming-w32gcc.exe, and make.exe, win-dres.exe. So that's how you guys see that. It should look like exactly like this. That's how we configure that's code blocks inside this Windows. But in my case, I'm going to show you the difference. So when I go inside there in my compiler, I'll see different things. See, inside this I've got a GCC or G++. You guys got different because the compiler for Linux is different to compiler to Windows. So that's small minor thing, but when we write the same program, it's exactly the same thing. It's make no difference. So when we write our source code, it's exactly same source code as Windows. So when it goes to the object files, our assembly language object file, when it goes to the all the way to the executable files, it becomes the same thing. So it makes no difference. All right.